intro's going to be scuffed. Apparently we're live. So, hello. There's no usual intro, but hello and welcome to the Wrestling Corner. With me, Rowan, from my own home. This time we're not in the radio studio, but I am Rowan, your regular host, and joined by my co-host Simon. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. It's weird times.
Okay. I cannot hear you. We always knew it was going to be scuffed. Hold up. Maybe I'll tell you in a second. I'm joined by my co-host Simon.
Hello.
There we go. Hello. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Chilling in my loft.
I know. I know, Sam. I'm just chilling in my bedroom. It's strange, but I like it. It's the thing that we don't have our regular, what's it called, setup. We have lost Simon though, but I'll keep on talking until he gets back. So basically, today there's so much to talk about. We've got the Exalted one final being revealed. We've got a lovely new debut. We've got some sort of different shows with your Monday Night Raws and SmackDown with no audience. You had NXT, which went for something different. It may have paid out, it may have not, but we will wait and see. We'll talk about it. We'll start with AEW. We'll see if we can get Simon back. But if you're in, let us know. We'll see how lockdown's going, obviously. If you're not from the UK, we're in lockdown. So we're only allowed to leave the house for, I think it's called essential work. So you have to go to the shop, one activity a day. But yeah, it's going to be a more chilled out episode, obviously. Normally when we record this podcast, we'd be at university and we'd be able to use the radio studio, but because all universities have closed, doing it from our lovely, humble abodes. So if you do hear any noises, it's just outside. It's a lovely, fresh English air. Can we get Simon back in is the question. I'll keep on talking. If you are watching, let us know. Tell me what you thought of wrestling this week. We'll have a conversation. See if we can get him back in. Try to find him. Oh, I don't think he realises he's not in. But yeah, wrestling this week has been very... I say for me, AEW was the best show we'll talk about. Oh, Simon is back. But yeah, for me, AEW was the best for me in terms of...
Whoa,
Simon's there. Hello.
Hello.
You don't need to have camera on.
Right, I don't know whether I'll keep this on.
I mean, fairness, I could have my camera on if you want, but as you will see, it's very choppy.
Oh, there we go. No, I like that one.
But yeah, I'll just say the shows, but we'll go into AEW to start off with. So AEW start off with the show No Lights Were On, and Cody, there was just one light looking at the ring. Cody was there in it, just the microphone, and just cut a really nice promo. Just sort of quiet him. Oh, for God's sake. I've just seen it, you've got as your avatar.
Yeah, that's kind of why I went away.
Oh, for God's sake. But yeah, so the show started off with the Cody, really Cody impression promo on how we had, as human beings, we need to stand together. And for many of us, that means we have to stay at a distance. I refuse to live in prison of fear. I feel alive, and I hope you feel alive. Because it's really thingy. And then it basically goes, Matt Jackson, I know you listen. I think you're a tag team master. You need to put your anger aside. And I'm tired of putting over Hangman Page. I need to get over it, be the difference maker, be the reason we win a blood of guts. He then put over Kenny and saying, we don't always like each other, that's okay. This isn't a wedding, it's blood and guts. I need you, but I need the real Kenny Omega, the best bout machine. In short, I need the elite to be the elite. Then the elite came and joined him, Kenny Omega and Matt Jackson. Then two again, it was like them two, all three of them were just having a nice conversation between friends, and it felt just passionate. And then you heard like footsteps, and they looked over and Hangman Page walked out. And I think we see with a lot of time with promos that someone comes out with promo, then music hits and they come out. But I think the way they did it now was very different to how... What was your opinion on sort of the opening promo of AEW?
I sort of were watching this through quite a lot of technical difficulties because I was trying to get it to stream on my TV, which I like, because I always watch it on my laptop at uni.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of didn't really get it too much. From what I did understand, Cody Rhodes was a very calming influence, and then Kenny Omega was like we're all just gonna it's just gonna wipe us all out.
Mm-hmm. Then it was good. Hangman came out and Matt Jackson Morris talking and just went. Matt Jackson went, where's Adam Page? Page walks out and we're asking you, will you stand with us? And he just raised his glass and walked away. So it's still got a long-term build. I was watching, I think I was watching Adam Cheat from Kalolic last night doing his Raw reactions. And he was saying, like, he thinks Kenny will win the title against Moxley eventually. And that's how Hangman Page will win it by turning on Kenny. I mean, it's a very long build. But
that would be a very long build. Especially because we don't know whether that double or nothing will happen.
Yeah, that is the thing with wrestling currently. We don't know what's going ahead, obviously. Mania is going ahead, which we'll talk about later. It's going to be such a strange show. But yeah, Paige leaves, and then Kenny just goes, looks in the camera and said, everybody needs some positivity. So all we can do is to give you the best possible show. So hit the lights, hit the pyro, and let's start Dynamite. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 pyro.
A
lot of pyro. Boom, boom, lights go out. Looked really nice. The first match came out. The first match happened, and it was Lucha Brothers versus the Best Friends. The Lucha Brothers were without Pac. Best Friends did have Orange Cassidy.
Presuming that's because of like the travel ban. I'm
guessing so, yes. So
right.
I don't think we saw any non-American wrestlers. Oh no, Hikaru Shida and Riho. So I'm guessing they were already in America, because I doubt they would have been allowed to fly. But the show first of all started off with the camera started panning around. You saw wrestlers outside the ring, and Tony Schiavone was interviewing MJF. Basically, MJF wasn't impressed with the winner's purse for tonight's event, so he decided to sit back tonight and watch the rest of the matches from the front row. And then all you see is Sean Spears just playing with money. Lance Archer, Jay the Snakes, Wardlow, MJF told a bunch of Sean Spears. They were just playing with money. And then MJF goes to Tony Schiavone goes to MJF like, are you gambling? And he goes, no. And as Tony Schiavone goes up to commentary, he goes, it basically looks at MJF like, can I have a bit in this? Which was quite nice. It showed the baby faces on one side, so you had Cock Banner, SCU, Joey Janela, and Sonny Kiss. So it was very heel and face on each side of the ring. Brandon Rose was doing the announcing.
The entire thing just felt like it was like one big society, like with with people like interacting with each other.
Yeah, it felt like,
and just like
obviously
it felt like they were like actual humans rather than just WWE, where like unless you cross each other in a backstage segment, you never have anything to do with anyone else. If you know what I mean?
No, like I know you've got social distancing, and that's why I don't think WWE had a crowd, but it worked. Like they still wanted that atmosphere, and you had the wrestlers who were on the outside who cheering, and I think that can really do something for the match.
WWE would never dream of doing something like that.
No, and AEW took the risk. Oh, did you see the tweet Tony Khan did last? Brian Alvarez tweet like, they've changed the hard cam. It's initially hard cam usually. And Tony Khan just tweeted a gif was like, oh, how original, which I found quite funny. But Brandy Rose was doing the announcing, which is obviously a throwback. If you remember Brandy Rose as Eden, she used to do the WWE announcing before she left. So remember her? Yeah, because on the thing it said, swear she'd never do it announcing again, but here she is. Something very similar to that. But then the show...
that's a blast from the past.
Yeah, I know. But then the show did start, obviously. The Lucha Brothers or Triangle de la Muertes or Death Triangle. Obviously without
there's no pack to the Lucha Bros.
Your friends. So the Lucha Bros obviously versus the Best Friends. Orange Cassidy was on commentary, just being typical Orange Cassidy. Quite just chill. I don't think he said anything, did he?
I can't remember him saying anything or doing anything or.
No,
he was just there.
But then eventually, so Trent and Phoenix, they were back and forth. They ended up brawling outside the ring. Orange Cassidy was chilling at the commentary booth as the King of Soft Style can. Trent was able to connect with some desperation offense of Phoenix and got tagged to Chatel. At the top of the round, Orange Cassidy jumped into the Lucha Bros. Of course, giving his hand in the pocket. Just some nice little spots, basically. But the finish came where Chuck Taylor used the stuffed power driver and pegged him with the 2 count. But then Penta hit a low blow on Trent, and after a package power driver stomp combo, the Lucha Bros win. And yeah, it was a thing. After it was an alright match. And then after the match,
I really liked it.
it was
the Lucha Bros for me. They're at that level where they could do anything. They could wrestle anyone, and I'll be entertained. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Everything they do is just
because they're mesmerizing. Good wrestlers. Sometimes we just say, "Oh, you need other stuff in wrestling to be an amazing wrestler. Like you need good promo or have the look." They don't. For me, they just need to do what they do.
I think they have the look. And I think they have a lot of charisma. We've not really seen too much promo, but like,
I think that's why Pac's been brought in. Sort of give them
what I mean? Like,
promo.
Kalisto can wrestle, but the reason he isn't on the same level of the Lucha Bros is he's just not as cool, and I think that comes.
He's also not as yeah, and I think entertainment when you watch the Lucha Bros, they are way more entertaining than the Lucha House Party. So
Lucha House Party got done dirty with that gimmick. We have not seen anything near what Gran Metalik is capable of.
Is he good?
Yeah, I reckon Gran Metalik is like probably Lucha Bros level. They just won't let him do all.
It is a problem with WWE in terms of you have your typical Lucha wrestlers, Rey. Yeah, they don't want to elevate someone to that Rey Mysterio level. They're doing it with Angel Garza and Humberto and Andrade, but they're not masked wrestlers. I can't think of a big masked wrestler in WWE currently.
Yeah, well, it's Lucha House Party, isn't
it? Yeah, it's Kalisto who's won many championships, but he just doesn't feel like a big star. After the match, Chuck Taylor basically, Death Triangle, you're a bunch of trucks for kicking my partner in the dick. He finally got to say a swear word on Twitter. He's been asking every week, can he say the S word, I think? And he finally got to swear. And basically, this was after, Trick T. And then after the match, he challenged him to a parking lot brawl, basically. So I'm guessing that's what we'll get next week.
That's next week. I mean, it's tomorrow. It's one match where you don't need any fans there.
No, because it's just a out-and-out brawl. After that, we had a fatal four-way, which was actually very surprising, between Kuroshida, Riho, Chris Statlander, and Penelope Ford, who's accompanied by Kip Sabian. There was, I think, 2 botches in the match which could have ruined it, but for me, I found it very entertaining. Penelope Ford really impressed me, and Riho was just great.
Well, I was really confused when Penelope Ford pinned Riho on Dark.
Yeah.
So then coming into this match, I kind of expected Ford to win, I think. But it was fun. It
was something that we really rarely see. The finish came where Shida used Falcon Arrow Ford for a 2 count. Shida followed up with a running knee to gain the victory. So now she's number 1 in the rankings. So I think she'll have Nyla Rose next, which is, I think, a good decision considering you haven't built your women's roster, and one of the wrestlers who you set up to sort of be that woman can't travel. Bea Priestley, she got obviously the attack over Nyla Rose last week. She can't travel, so I'm guessing Akira Shida will be in the United States. So why not just have the wrestlers you've got challenge? Because even though they don't feel as big, you know that they can't do something, so it sort of works.
Yeah, no, I'm with that.
After the match, I think they were setting up for a match next week where Tony Schiavone was interviewed Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana basically said Penelope Ford would be much better off without her scheming boyfriend. Kip Sabian took exceptional comment and got into Colt's face. Sabian was shoved away, and basically it was just lovely not lovely back and forth. It was a back and forth, probably setting up next week's match. After this, we did have the Jurassic Express versus the Butcher and the Blade. You boys.
My boys were just
your boys. Again, a lot of tag team matches on this show. In fairness, that is AEW, but
I would say it's what they pride themselves on, really, isn't
it? The finish came when Jungle Boy threw every last out thing, but he was able to cut off on a hot tag to Luchasaurus, who is the strangest hot tag in the world, because hot tags you expect him to be super quick, flipper, or like a Big E where
it's quite a slow hot tag, isn't it? But it works.
It's a scary one. If you saw a big dinosaur running at you, you wouldn't want to be there. Fan Luchasaurus got the tag and he completely changed the tenor of the match. No, the Excalibur, the Butcher, and Luchasaurus was subbing it. Oh, Excalibur! No, I was like, how's Excalibur ran in the ring? The Butcher and Luchasaurus were subbing it out like two big hosses. They are. MJF screamed outside, full death right now. At the Butcher and the Blade. MJF was the heels. MJF and Sean Spears were great because they were just being your typical heels, chanting stuff on the outside. That's why I think they needed the fans because you still got that, not the atmosphere, and you could still tell who your bad guys and good guys were from the crowd reactions. But the ending came. Luchasaurus got the pin on the Butcher after a distraction because Butcher was distracted by MJF's comments, orders.
Do you think this will lead somewhere? Like, do you think this is the end of MJF and Butcher and Blade? Now they want to do their own thing.
Yeah, mate, because the Butcher and Blade, I'm guessing, hired Hitman, aren't they? So I'm guessing
they
might
just go. They're just like mercenaries who need the money and they'll just stick with MJF.
True. Maybe the losses don't matter for them, or it's more about killing
money.
Yeah. But after this, we did have the reveal of the Exalted one. Coming into the show, I think last week we both predicted it was going to be Matt Hardy. After everything that happened, he weren't in WWE. He was very teasing it on Free the Delete. So basically, Evil Uno came out and said, I've promised the arrival of the Exalted one. Together we are one. We're all waiting. And then Christopher Daniels got on a mic. And Kazarian basically Daniels just saying, you're a lie, you're a fake. There isn't an Exalted one. You're just building this up for nothing to happen. We're sick of it. The biggest lie is the Exalted one. It's just you two. Then a video began to play. And it was sort of like a hooded man. I thought it was still Matt Hardy because it looked like his big broken jacket.
I knew who it was before I watched Dynamite.
Did you?
I can't really say.
So I watched it live because I was like, there's big things happening. And so the thing, I was like, still Matt Hardy. It looks like his jacket, he's got a beard. And then he pulls it down. I'm like, oh my God, that's Brody Lee. So Brody Lee is the Exalted one, which is good. Good. What are your opinions on Brody Lee being it?
I was a little bit. Well, it's AEW. They'll pull it out the bag. I like the Twitter exchanges that him and Evil Uno have had. It's like I feel like what AEW does on Twitter is a little bit more like relevant than what WWE do on Twitter, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like Brody Lee tweets to Evil Uno. I want you to tell me what day it is.
Half of Evil Uno's like character is just what he does on Twitter. And it's really, I really like Evil Uno. I was never sold on him in the ring, but on social media, I've sort of really been won over. And
like,
the whole,
now, in the ring, Stu Grayson is like the guy.
The Exalted one sort of telling. Yeah, sorry, Brody Lee instructing Evil Uno to tweet what day it is.
Doing his work.
It's exciting. I think it'll. I don't know where it's going to lead or what the first. Are they intending on having Daniels versus Lee at Double or Nothing?
And it will be an SCU versus the Dark Order.
Yeah, SCU versus
because now it's 3v3. Obviously, I think the Dark Order are going to win that, and it's again due to the pandemic. We don't know if Double or Nothing is going to go ahead. So far, because they might end up doing it in terms of no audience, like WrestleMania is doing, like the shows have done. But I feel like they should just say, Double or Nothing is not happening. We're going to wait until we can have that crowd because the card is looking like it could be stacked.
Yeah, because what comes with Double or Nothing is StarCast.
And that is a lot of money.
It's a big fan convention, if you know what I mean, like entire weekend.
There was a slight dig in the promo. Do you know the opening when there was teasing
everyone? You're not the only old man to have not.
Yeah, it goes, Christopher Daniels, you are not the first old man to not believe me, but you will be the last. My name is Brody Lee, and I am the Exalted one. He appears in the ring, just boots Christopher Daniels' head off. I was speaking to.
Did he hit with a discus clothesline?
No, I think he kicked him, And then he went to go do something, and he just stopped and discus clothesline. I think that's what happened.
Right.
I was speaking to Kieran Elder, and he was like, "I don't like it. The cheap discs." He went, "If WWE did this, we'd be all crapping on them." But I thought it worked. Like,
it would be.
I think if it was a wrestler who had no qualms with WWE, who left good terms, fair enough. Like, that'd be a bit shocking, but they kept him in his contract for like an extra 3 months.
Yeah, the thing is with WWE, they'd have them tease the Exalted one for a single week, and then they'd reveal him the week after.
Mm-hmm. Liv Morgan, Emelina,
and that's why we'd all criticise it, but because it's a long-term build and everything makes sense, it didn't really matter who it was, if you know what I mean, because the build has been so great. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good sign of it. I think we all knew he was signing, and he was either going to be, he was just going to become like a Lance Archer, someone who would just tear it up, or he would have a big gimmick. I think this is a big gimmick that he does deserve. Everyone knows he's a good wrestler. So it's sort of time for him to prove why WWE should have used him. I think then, it's not written here, but we had a summer filmed before the show. Moxley arrives, and he was basically told like he can't enter the ring due to something. I can't remember what, but anyway, he drove back in his car, and drove away. I'm just wondering is Moxley setting up another Jericho match? Because Blood and Guts obviously is not happening now. Well,
I think they'll just do a regular Dynamite, won't they?
Yeah, but it's not. Well, it was always going to be a regular Dynamite, but they've been postponing it. So I'm just thinking, who's Moxley going to face in the set up feud with? Because Jericho's sort of involved in the Blood and Guts feud, and then he was going to be touring with Fozzy. So who? I'm trying to who MJF maybe. He's the only one I can think of that it can sort of feud with, where it's got you clear bad guy, good guy.
Wait, who's this?
Moxley. Like, who does Moxley feud with now that Jericho's really? Because I think he's still with Jericho and it's like feuding with him.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if there's anybody beyond MJF. He's the standout man, but I feel like it's not right for him at this time.
Too early, not too early, but he doesn't need it yet. Like, he's not losing his steam. He's still absolutely hated. Have you seen the stuff that's been going around of him singing? I hear that he's super talented. He's like, in like an a cappella group, and he was like, he's got a really good singing voice. I'm like, how's it unfair?
I haven't watched the video, but I know it's a thing.
Yeah. Then Tony Schiavone interviewed Jake the Snake Roberts. Tried to interview Lance Archer, but Jake the Snake interrupted. And then Jake Ben went, Cody should pay attention to us. So you've obviously got Cody versus Lance. To ignore us is like spitting in our face. We just don't have that. We won't have that. Shut me up if you can, and I don't think you can. So Cody, it's time for you to stand up, meet the man. We came for a specific reason. It's become personal. You had your chance, but we will get your attention. Then a promo played of it's sort of like backyard wrestling, and it was just Lance Archer tearing through everyone. Like, the final shot is Lance Archer leaving, and all the bodies are just stacked up in the ring. I think a lumberjack match they announced, which is a bit.
Yeah, but I think they've started. Haven't they cancelled it?
Have they? I don't know. I just saw that it was announced, because that was a bit considering what's been going on in the world. But we did. Then in the main event of AEW, it was the Inner Circle, right? Big Kurt, Jake Hager, Santana and Ortiz, accompanied by Sammy Guevara, versus the Elite, which was Cody, accompanied by Arn, Matt Jackson, Hangman Page, with Kenny Omega on the side, with the winning team in the advantage. So they all come out, then Jericho comes out, and obviously the crowd normally sings along. Sammy Guevara, along with MJF and John Spears, just sings Judas, and it was so funny, just singing it out of key. Doesn't know the lyrics, and he made Jericho Corpse. Have you seen it?
Yeah, he made Jericho Corpse, which is
very hard. But it did make me laugh because he was so out of key. But again, they made it feel like everything that happened was normal. The crowd singing Judas, obviously it was Guevara singing, but same difference. The good triple threat 3v3 tag team match. Sort of what we'd expect. Matt and Hangman Page sort of teasing this. Them two collided, but then eventually in the finish, sort of teaming up. Page, so basically, like Page and Jackson suplex Hager. Jackson has Santana up and call for the Indie Taker to Page. So Page goes out the ring, goes to do the Indie Taker. Hager pulls him down, rolled up. Matt Jackson was rolled up, giving the Inner Circle the advantage for Blood and Guts. Which was, have they even said what the advantage was?
I'm
guessing they'll have the more people. Yeah.
First person to be released from the cage.
Mm-hmm. Jericho was on top so after the match, Jericho stands on top of the ring. This is still my favourite thing. And sort of celebrate with the Inner Circle. Jericho said that Blood and Guts, the Inner Circle, would have the Elite outnumbered since Matt Jackson was out indefinitely with an injury, so at the hands of the Inner Circle. And as Jericho was cutting this promo, it kept on going, and you just heard a faint buzzing, and I thought it was just something. I took my headphones out, like nothing in my room. Okay, put it back in, it was still going, and then you just see from the top of the hard cam a drone come down, and as soon as I was like, oh my god, it's Matt Hardy, it's Vanguard 1, it lands, and then it goes silent, and Matt Jackson just goes, basically, I had to call in a favour. Piano started playing, like the is it Rebbe Hardy? Piano started going, and it just pans, and Matt Hardy's just there in the rafters, standing, doing his broken Matt. Oh, I can't wait! So broken Matt Hardy is my favourite wrestling character. One of them.
I'm not as into him as I were a few years ago.
I think because we haven't seen proper broken.
I've got full confidence that he'll sort of pull it out the box like his Talk is Jericho interview.
Mm-hmm. Like you just want to create control.
Yeah, his creativity is insane.
Mm-hmm. And his family being given it.
Damascus is his old vessel's gone. Damascus is. I don't know.
It's the way he was. I got goosebumps watching it because, like, Final Deletion was out 2016. So that was my final year of high school, and so when the Final Deletion came out, and me and my mate who like wrestling, it was these things we quoted like, dilapidated boot, Senor Benjamin and stuff like. It was one of the reasons I love that character so much. It wasn't a typical wrestling. It was something very different. And now that he's at AEW, I'm hoping he can sort of bring that Matt Hardy back. So Matt Hardy will be the fourth man. Yeah, he will be the fourth man in the match. I feel sorry for Dustin Rhodes because I think Dustin Rhodes wanted to be in there as well. And then Matt Jack Smith's going, piss off. We've got this guy. But such a good... It's just things should be waffling about it, but from how they did it was Jericho just cutting this, and then you see the drone land. He's still talking. He doesn't acknowledge it, and then he sees Matt Hardy, and I think it was Taz who just went, "It's like he's seen a ghost," and his Jericho's facials to that he was just in shock. The piano gave me goosebumps. What's your opinion on the debut and everything? Well, there we go. The opinion on the Matt Hardy debut and how it was shot.
It reminded me a little bit of do you remember when it was? I think it was Drew McIntyre and Shane McMahon versus somebody and Gary Garbutt. And then Gary Garbutt was revealed to be Cedric Alexander. It was.
Don't tell me you're comparing Gary Garbutt to Broken Matt Hardy.
No, I'm not. But it was a little bit like they'd lost the match, and then they
started
off this shock debut, being like, "Oh well, actually, we got the advantage because we've got Matt Hardy." When in theory,
I understand. Okay, I get
what I mean. In theory, Matt Hardy's a big reveal, but surely they would have more of an advantage if they'd have had Nick Jackson. Like, can you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And I
It's Nick
wouldn't want
Jackson,
Matt Hardy
obviously.
to be like a team like Brock and Matt Hardy to be like a team player. I just think he'd be like one on his own, just doing random things.
I know what you mean. It does make sense. Like, why can't they just have Nick? I'm guessing either Nick is actually properly injured. I know his wife was pregnant, and I don't know if she's had the kid, but yeah, surely just if you're thinking logistically, like, well, let's just hurry Nick up, he'll heal, and then we don't need Matt. I do think the debut was helped by the wasn't. I think the pop would have been absolutely huge if there was a crowd.
Yeah,
Which,
but I don't know. I don't think it was hindered by the fact it was in an empty arena because it just the way it panned up and he was just standing there looking over everybody,
making his weird sounds that he makes. What were your opinion of Dynamite?
I thought, although I've not like, I don't feel like I've not been too like talking about it here. I thought it were really good.
It was my favourite episode of Dynamite so far.
Yeah, it would. They made probably the best out of a bad situation. Like the bad situation. I wouldn't go so far as to say it was my favourite. Probably top 5.
Oh, definitely top. For me, it was my favourite. Like maybe that's because I just love Brock and Matt Hardy. It's my wacky wrestling that I love. I love stupid wrestling. Like the Lana Rusev angle was one of my favourite. It is just it is just stupid, isn't it? Like, but it was.
Yeah, but it's a bad. There's good and there's bad stupid, and that was firmly bad stupid.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Good episode of Dynamite. If you rank it out of our normal rank, I'd give it a 5. Mate, 4 and 3. No,
I'd give it. I'd give it a 5 because of circumstances.
Yeah, 5.
You can't knock it off the crowd.
No, I think the Matt Hardy didn't need a crowd. Maybe the Exalted one did. But no, probably would have just got booed.
Yeah, I think the Exalted one with a bit of a reaction.
But that was AEW, very good show. But we'll move on to NXT though, which, if you look at the viewer figures, wasn't that good. I think AEW had 900k-ish, and the NXT had 400, 500. It was a reason.
They did pre-warn people that there weren't going to be any.
Obviously, but when AEW had even still announced that they were going ahead with the live show, you surely should have tried to do something to sort of combat it.
Yeah, it's their thing, isn't it? They don't like wrestling in no arena. So
yeah, I think NXT
was NXT, but like. When NXT sort of a company that prides themselves on wrestling so much, I feel like they could have pulled it. They could have done a little bit more.
They could have, at least with NXT, they can produce a good-looking show without having to have a match. So the show was like really well worked. If you know what happened, basically it was just 3 promo packages. So initially it was Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. The feud that's been going on. It was just them really hyping it for whenever it's going to take place, because we really don't know.
I don't know.
SummerSlam is the closest. Maybe Money in the Bank weekend. The problem is we don't know when we're going to be good, so we could be here at SummerSlam and they might not be allowed to do it then.
Yeah,
that's the thing. So. But they're still going to build it up. Nice little back and forth. And Finn Balor did one, and he cut it on Volta. Is it Walter or Volta?
Volta, I think.
Cut the promo on Volta. So he was basically... But he had NXT and NXT UK, so obviously NXT UK champion is Volta. And then he was saying I'd take competition from NXT as well. And then final was Rhea Ripley as well. She was just hyping up a match with Charlotte Flair, because currently that's the only NXT match that's going ahead.
There isn't much to add to this at all. It was like they do video packages very well. What more can you say?
2.5 out of 5 for me. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was just
the video packages get a 5, but the wrestling gets a 0. There, I guess it probably averages out.
It was. I'm gonna. The problem, I think, if they tried to, they could have probably equaled AEW in terms of even if they just had one big match. Maybe if it was like not Dream Cole because Dream might take the title off Cole, but like a match that was going to happen at Takeover, do it on the live show.
Yeah, I was just thinking they could have replicated some like Halftime Heat, but obviously Halftime Heat had all like the performance and the talents.
Yeah.
So
and also they
defeats the point.
Well. But they couldn't really do much. So they did something. I think that's what we had to think. They did something. So that was your Wednesday Night Wars. I think for me, AEW won. I think it's slowly not becoming top competition. You think? Yeah. They obviously won. That's considered a live show. It will be interesting from now on to see how they're going to sort of maintain it. Are they going to stick with, obviously, they have to have empty arenas, but will they stick with having wrestlers at the side? I know they are doing screens for coronavirus, the C word, the pandemic. But I don't know whether they are actually, because the results don't come back for a while. So I don't know, but that was your Wednesday Night Wars. One really good show, one good show.
Yeah. What I think you're going to come on to next, I would like to put forward as being one of the worst segments of the year already. So
already? Okay. What I was going to talk about, so we will go on to SmackDown. The show opened up. The show opened up with Mojo Rawley come out and it introduced Gronk. Rob Gronkowski, the former New England Patriots NFL player. He's the host of the Wrestlemania. Could be all good. All Gronk had to come out was just say, yeah, I'm your host. He did possibly the strangest ever entrance to a wrestling ring.
The problem is, this was written to be done in front of 15,000 people.
Yes.
Now it was done in front of nobody.
They didn't adapt.
Oh, they just hoped it would work the same. If it had been done in front of a live crowd, it would have still been terrible.
But the crowd helped it. Because Gronk was just like Mojo, overly hyped.
Yeah, right.
What was that?
Since when has Mojo Rawley gone back to being a hype man?
Yeah, remember when he was cutting the promos where he was a serious guy?
Mojo Rawley's a Raw guy.
Oh my god,
there's no consistency.
Why was he on Smack? Why did they do the Gronk thing on SmackDown when Mojo's on Raw?
It's the sporting brand. Gronk's a sport guy.
Anyway, Gronk he really didn't bother as a sporting guy. But Corbin came out and sort of did his best, bless him. Gronk obviously spoke how excited he was to host the first ever 2-day WrestleMania, but obviously him and Mojo were interrupted by Corbin. The King of the Ring brought down the hype, brought the hype down. I don't want to talk about it. Was Gronk Mojo not strange pairing because it fits, but Gronk without a crowd I feel sorry for him because he's just quite embarrassed. It was itchy.
If I'd feel sorry for him if he came out looking like quite sad because there wasn't a crowd, but that man did not care. He's raking in that paycheck to host a show in front of no people.
Yeah, why do we need a host? Like, I could understand thinking you want someone to go show, but when they
it's not even live. Oh,
it isn't even live. They pre-recorded it, haven't they?
It's getting recorded tomorrow on Thursday. Which is just incomprehensible. Like, it's the right thing to do, but it is. There's
a couple of matches which are going to look fun, like the Fiend Cena and Undertaker AJ. We'll talk about Undertaker AJ later, but it's really that Fiend Cena is going to be like a House of Horrors match.
Do you think they will record multiple endings for each match in case something leaks?
Definitely. They have to, because when was the last pre-recorded show that was like big and it got leaked? It was probably all the UK SmackDown one that always get leaked because.
Oh right, yeah, that's in front of the crowd. You can't leak out. No.
When was the last time that they did? It was probably maybe Bray Randy when they filmed it in the compound, the white thing.
I don't know.
And they probably filmed multiple endings because it got leaked.
I'm gonna say Ultimate Deletion.
I forgot that was a thing. Yes, Ultimate Deletion for sure. Because, I think with certain matches they'll have to. So there going to be no live matches?
No, there's going to be no live matches. There's 13 on the card.
They've really stacked it up as well for some reason.
Yeah, and like 10 of them are singles matches.
It's next week, isn't it, Mania? Not this weekend.
Yeah, it's next week. The 4th and 5th. Saturday and Sunday.
God. But anyway, we'll go back to Gronk thing. Yeah, Elias came out and sort of set up your Elias Corbin match for Mania. This match would need a crowd because Corbin can get heat and Elias can get cheered.
This somehow isn't the most baffling match on the WrestleMania card.
Can I ever guess what your most baffling match is? Is it the Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza?
No.
Because for me, that's the most baffling one.
First of all, sorry.
They've never interacted. Andrade's your US champ. Like, what's yours?
Bobby Lashley versus Aleister Black.
I forgot about that. I really did.
Why?
That's got no need.
He didn't have anything to do on Raw. Like Lashley won then.
Lashley weren't there. Black beat a jobber.
Yeah. Oh.
No, it's done make sense. But we'll go from something bad to something good. And it was Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak defeated Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. A match that, if it was in front of a live crowd, would be looked on as a really, really good match. But it wasn't, and it was still a fun and entertaining match with Gulak sort of not chanting Bryan on, but giving him help, giving him information. Bryan trying to do the same to Gulak, and he sort of eventually paid off with and Bryan and Gulak worked together to allow the Yes Man to catch Cesaro with a beautiful sunset flip for 3. Ranger Sami Zayn, who've been chastising Bryan and Gulak from the announce desk. Sami Zayn is great on commentary. He's amazing. And this heel character works perfectly for him.
It's like Daniel Bryan's got like full creative control, isn't it? Like he's got all the work rate guys that just shove them all together.
Just working with his mates.
Yeah, basically.
Again, I don't think they've announced about. I was saying an Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania, but I doubt that'll probably be going ahead now because
I don't know. All 30 matches is there really nothing for the IC title?
I'm just trying to load up the card. Lesnar Drew, Goldberg Reigns, Undertaker AJ, Cena Fiend, Becky Shayna, Rhea Charlotte, KO Seth.
No, there's no involving any of these guys.
There's only Andrade, who's the United States. Who are your SmackDown Tag Team Champions? Miz and Morrison. Nothing there, but I think we'll get a four-man for that match.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But speaking of one of the matches that we talked about, the 6-pack challenge was announced. So Sasha and Bayley were inside the ring, sort of talking crap, basically. So Paige appears on the screen saying, because she wasn't at the show last week, she's tried to be on the show this week over Skype, which was painfully awkward. Either there was just a lot of lag or it was pre-recorded because it just didn't seem smooth. So obviously Bayley and Sasha were talking crap to Paige. Paige went, well, you're going to have a match at WrestleMania against... And first of all, why does she have the power to make a Mania match? Why she talk to the Fox?
She said the officials at Fox have told her to do it.
But why does she get to choose?
Because she's the SmackDown general manager.
She's not. She's got no power to put who she wants. As much as Fox said, why would Fox go, we need someone to make a match? Paige.
Out of all the faults you're picking with this, why are you not questioning why Tamina's in the match?
The power of Tamina. So basically Paige goes, you'll be facing Lacey Evans. Oh, okay, makes sense.
I've already beaten her.
Oh, Dana Brooke. Oh no. Naomi. I've done this out of order. Naomi, decent. She makes sense. She's liked. She's a good wrestler. And Tamina.
Right. So Tamina. I'm just looking at Tamina's last matches. Apparently, she was in the Women's Royal Rumble.
Yes. She got eliminated easily.
She beat R-Truth at Hell in a Cell for the 24/7 title.
Yes, backstage.
But the last time she was on TV was the Go Home show before WrestleMania 35. That's mad. Tamina's last two, apart from the 24/7 title stuff, her last two TV appearances will have been at back-to-back WrestleManias.
She knows when to get a payday, doesn't she?
That is outstanding.
Fair play to her. Don't wrestle for a year, comes back, give me that moolah. I swear she's also one of the only... We joked about her, but I'm pretty confident she's one of the only people who hold wins over Bayley and Sasha. I think she's pinned all of the horsewomen, apart from Charlotte, maybe. So if you think about it, she is the most dangerous competitor in this match. Apart from... So Bayley's like, well, I've beaten all them, it's fine. Then she goes. And then Sasha Banks... And tension. So 6-pack challenge at Mania, with obviously Sasha Banks being there.
Banks will probably turn face.
Who do you think will? Yeah, because Bayley's been very good as a heel. Not very good, but I think we're growing accustomed to her. Unlike Sasha, who can just. Even both of them could float over, but I feel like Bayley's.
They've both been heel for less than a year.
In terms of like this, Sasha were heel and NXT, weren't she?
Yeah, but like in terms of this current run.
Yeah. And for me, Bayley's the one who can stick it out more. I think it's the haircut of her. For some reason, that haircut makes me hate her more.
Banks?
No, Bayley.
Oh, Bayley?
Yeah.
No, I don't have any particularly strong
I like it, but for some reason, it just enrages me more than Sasha's does. But yeah, that's going to be the SmackDown Women's Championship match. It just, it just doesn't make sense. Why does Lacey, Dana, Tamina, why do any of them deserve a match?
Because there's no Battle Royal.
Yeah, and you want to get as many people on the show. Feel sorry for Carmella. It's rumored that she's put herself in quarantine because she might possibly have it, but I swear she's the only wrestler I can think of who's not in that match on SmackDown, apart from Nikki and Alexa, but they may have the Kabuki Warriors.
I mean, Nia Jax on Raw, but I thought she could have made an appearance.
The SmackDown, I think Carmella's the only one who might not be on Mania.
Yeah. No, that sounds about right.
Yeah, because Alexa and Nikki tag team. Yeah. So poor Carmella. She just have to sit and watch from home. And then we did have the Miz and John Morrison beating Heavy Machinery. So the show started off with Miz and Morrison coming out. And then they had a nice little pre-recorded thing. A pre-recorded thing where they dressed up as each member of the tag teams on the roster. So they dressed up as the New Day, cut a New Day promo, which had, I'm going to say, minor racial tendencies. And then they mixed. It was funny. It was funny. They took the mick out of Heavy Machinery and then the Usos, and Otis and Tucker didn't like it. So they came out, weren't happy, and then so the match happened. Ziggler came out and was just goading Otis, showing him pictures of him and Mandy having a great time together. And Otis sold it perfectly. He just stood still, frozen, and just attacking Ziggler and attempted to attack him with a steel chair. And then ran after. Then Otis then went into Miz Morrison, completely blind rage. To no avail, Tucker attempted to rein in Otis and brutalized him with a steel chair to cause a disqualification. Although Otis was finally calmed somewhat by Tucker, the damage was certainly done and it put a massive look of terror on Ziggler's face. Otis, showing signs of being a dirty boy.
Yeah, this was the most sort of character we've seen from Otis in a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was nice to see. Again,
it was really good.
Ziggler's a hateful prick.
Are we going to get Otis and Dolph at Mania?
I'd be very surprised unless we get a tag. No, because I was going to say we get a tag team match with Ziggler and Rude in it as well, but Rude can't travel.
Oh, because he's in Canada.
Yeah, that's why the Brock match is up in the air. Because can Brock travel?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got a decision to make, hasn't he? He's probably going to need to be.
You can get on with it if he wants.
Yeah, in the next 2 days.
I'm just trying to think, because then, with Drew, do you just wait and have his coronation in front of a crowd? Because I think he deserves to have that crowd win.
No, I just think you have him win it here.
Really, and just
I
feel like
because you can't have him get it. These things happen. He's got the belt. Next time he's in front of the crowd, he'll have a hero's reception.
So do you think he needs the belt though? What if Brock just gets DQ'd immediately and he just leaves? He doesn't want to wrestle Drew. And Drew's like,
you don't do screwy finishes.
It's not going to be like a WrestleMania. I think it'd be more like a. So I think you could, and then the lead up to the next pay per view where Brock can defend is just Drew going, "You're disqualified," and then Paul Heyman trying to come up with some stupid reasoning why Brock did it. Because I think my cat's attacking my door, but Paul coming up with some stupid reasoning why Brock did what he did, and then you have this big match with the front of the crowd where Drew gets that pop he deserves for winning. And then you've had the build-up of it's just not going to happen. They couldn't do it in Mania.
Maybe I'm not on board with Drew McIntyre as a lot of people, but I just say get it over and done with at Mania.
He'll be ashamed to see because he won't get that pop. But
I do think it'll be quite sad. And if Kofi Kingston had won the title in front of no crowd, I'd have been devastated.
Mm-hmm. But you still feel the same for Drew. Maybe because Drew's a big guy. And I know that sounds stupid, but Kofi wasn't this huge, big, muscly guy. Brian wasn't. They didn't feel like Drew feels like when you watch him, I feel like he can beat Brock. Whereas Kofi and Brian, I felt like they couldn't beat these guys that were up against.
Yeah.
But we will wait and see. And then the SmackDown main event was Goldberg and Roman Reigns nearly come to blows after signing their WrestleMania contract. Signed it. It was a very typical.
Yeah, it was. Both men threw insults back and forth. Reigns' were better than Goldberg's. Goldberg flipped a table and then they nearly kissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you could hear the direct the audio guy over the top telling them to switch cameras.
Mm-hmm. It didn't do anything for me. I'm not hyped for this match.
We still don't know why it's happening.
Yeah, why does they still haven't gone Goldberg hasn't questioned it?
Yeah, by their logic, if Primo came out and said, "I'm next,"
who was it that tweeted it? I think it was Ziggler went, "My favorite wrestler then, my favorite wrestler now." And it was Primo when it was NXT. Was it NXT where he was a coach for Caitlyn, and then it was now when he was as part of the Cologne's selling holidays. In fairness, if Primo did come out and go, I want a title match, Goldberg can't go, well, no.
Yeah, they'd have given him it because that's what I've been told on TV anyway.
# justice for Primo. Get it trending.
Yeah.
Because I just can't wait to see now. The thing is, that would be a funny segment if R-Truth came out. It wouldn't be R-Truth because it'd be comedy, but someone came out and went, Roman got a shot. Can I have one? And they just give it him. Losing 2 minutes, but Goldberg's like, yeah, sure.
All it takes is a quick number one contenders match on SmackDown.
Well, they were going to have it for Elimination Chamber, but they scrapped it.
Yeah. Just anything.
Anything.
Really?
Is it I think if anyone, the only person who I think could have got the title match without having to win was Shayna, because Shayna, the women's elimination chamber was pointless because we all knew Shayna was going to win. She did exactly that. Why not have Roman in there and have a couple of guys who could be like shotgunners? Like, the glitches happened again. As SmackDown's possible, you could have had an Ali in there. You'd have your heels, Corbin. You'd have Elias. Have a Kofi in there as like, see if you could do it again, or even like a Big E or something. Have these
it's not like we're short of options.
No, it's just I just want reasoning. I just want some reasoning to why Roman deserves what he gets.
Yeah, it's not much to ask for.
He hasn't done anything. If you watch the live show every week, he hasn't done anything to say like, "Oh yeah, he deserves this." Has he?
No, not at all.
That was SmackDown. All right.
Yeah, it was a show that
3.5.
2 out of 5.
Yeah, it wasn't amazing. It was meh.
Far from it.
Mm-hmm. But then we'll go to Monday Night Raw, which was a very stacked Raw in terms of a lot of stuff happened and a lot of stuff didn't happen. Like, I'm looking at the thing, I'm like, wow, they managed to fit all that into a 3-hour show, considering they're 2 match replays as well. So we won't talk about
I've
the
only
recap.
worked out that they re-showed Lesnar, Rollins, Cena from Rumble 15.
Well, I like because all 3 of them on the Mania card. Strange match to show, but
it's a random match, but it's a good match.
It's a really good match. And then they showed Charlotte's win over Asuka as well. So that was obviously probably an hour and a half already took up. But the show did open with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman addressing Drew McIntyre. Paul Heyman is amazing. I watched the opening promo and started watching something else. Anything Paul Heyman says, for some reason I don't want to stop listening.
Right.
I think it's just because he's such a good promo. Like, he could keep on talking, and I'd be like, what's he going to say next? I want more of Paul Heyman.
I'm a little bit tired of the Heyman promo. I feel it's just. I just feel like it's like you know what you're gonna get, and I just feel it's grown a little bit tiresome.
Yeah, but if there's some for me anyway, it feels different every time he does it. Like they probably are actually all the same, but for some reason I feel like every time it is different to the next one.
Yeah, I can confirm they are pretty much all the same.
Yeah, but hyping up for a week and a half where Drew hopefully does win. Then I think we had we did have the replay of the Rumble match immediately, so that took up a lot of time. But when we came back, AJ Styles challenged Undertaker to a boneyard match. So he comes out.
What's the boneyard match?
I don't know, but we'll go into it in a sec. So he comes out and he starts cutting his promo saying, Undertaker, have you seen him on Instagram? Look at this, he's like the gothy Tiger Man, which is a new Netflix documentary. He's the goth version of that. Starts talking about Michelle Cole, and he goes, I don't want the Instagram Undertaker, I want the dead man in a boneyard match. So as soon as that got announced, I went on my phone and I went, boneyard match, wrestling. Nothing came up.
Oh, okay. I haven't searched for it.
I mean, you can have a search now, but
I just want to see more videos of the Undertaker with a tiger.
Right, I'm searching boneyard match.
You know full well at WrestleMania, Undertaker's going to beat him in about 3 minutes.
And I really don't want to continue. I'm looking for boneyard match. I'm looking at Bleacher Report.
Like, it is like, it's just going to be like, it just gets... I feel like it's such a one-sided feud. Like, it's Styles taking all the shots and doing everything he can, and Undertaker's just not affected by anything.
No,
I feel like he'll just come out and Taker will just squash him in like 3 minutes. So and Michael Cole will be like, "What a WrestleMania moment!"
Okay, so I'm on
it's gonna be awful. Like,
what is a boneyard match? If there's anything like a graveyard match, which we saw between Sting and Vampire and WCW, is going to be as goofy as anything we've seen at Mania. A boneyard could be a cemetery, but the term can also refer to a scrapyard for aeroplanes, but it is unlikely the Deadman Stars will be fighting next to a decommissioned biplane. WWE's making this to the pay-per-view.
It's falls count anywhere, but in a graveyard.
I was thinking a Buried Alive match, and they can't call it a Buried Alive.
I thought they were going to announce a casket match.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be, but they can call it a casket match because they had one very recently.
Yeah. What, Undertaker versus Rusev?
Rusev, yeah, where Rusev and Aiden English both got locked in the thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who actually, what it could be. I just thought it was a Buried Alive match. But
I'm not sure they know.
No. This year at Mania, not all the matches are happening at the Performance Centre, so they're happening at many different locations. So I think the Mania will be stupid, but I think it'll be fun because you're going to see a Boneyard match. The field scene is going to have something wacky.
The finish will be of great detriment, but in the moment it'll be a laugh.
Who do you think's winning? We'll do that next week.
Taker, without a doubt. I'd be willing to bet like Undertaker is
your life savings.
Yeah.
Really, you're that confident?
I'm so confident. I'm not sure there's a match on the card I'm more confident in.
There's not a little bit that thinks that AJ can do it.
No.
This is where AJ shocks you, and after he goes, "That's for you, Simon. You didn't believe in me."
I'd be more than happy for him to do that, but yeah, it's unlikely.
No. Then we did get a tag team match. Andrade and Angel Garza beating Ricochet and Cedric. It was announced before the match that Andrade and Angel Garza would take on the Street Profits at Mania. Because why?
Because reasons.
For reasons. So the Street Profits are on commentary. Poor Ricochet and Cedric. The Burry Squad.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? The Burry Boys.
Ricochet doesn't deserve it. Like, look at Ricochet NXT, Ricochet Indie, and like both of them amazing. And then the main roster, he's just false from grace.
Yeah.
There's not much to talk about.
Yeah, Ricochet and Alexander deserve better, but if it means Angel Garza wins matches, then so be it.
Still good. We did have another tag team match immediately, more or less afterwards. The Street Profits now started trying to prove against the WrestleMania opponents. They faced Shane Thorne from NXT and Brandon Vink.
Yeah.
Who's Brandon Vink?
What's a Brandon Vink?
I know who Shane Thorne is. It's part of TM61.
Yeah, everyone knows. Sure. Apparently, Brandon Vink is another Australian guy, just a performance centre recruit. I'm guessing
he don't have a page on WWE, so.
Yeah, because he's not debuted on NXT. He's just gone straight there. But yeah, I mean, when you can't have Nick Miller, I guess Shane Thorne's your man.
Yeah, Shane Thorne's.
No, not Shane Thorne. I guess you can't have Nick Miller, Brandon Vink's your man.
Yeah.
TM62.
Oh, is Brendan Vink Elliot Sexton?
No idea.
Elliot Sexton is an Australian wrestler.
All right. Okay.
He's actually I'm pretty confident he's like sort of. He's had matches against Travis Banks. I think his mates with what's it called? Big guy. Can't remember. Not Jonah Rock. It's got Bronson Reed, yeah. I thought I recognised him. Yeah, it's Elliot Sexton. Anyway, that's just me.
Yeah. One of these days, when they're needing random performance centre talents to come up, one of these days it will be Tino, because
go on.
There is nowhere for Tino to slot in the current NXT landscape. Like there isn't. But
he's got a tag team partner.
He's got the look. He's got the promo of a mate. He's like EC3. Like EC3 fitted on the main roster seamlessly, and I feel like Sabatelli should be like
poor EC3.
Yeah, like he's made for main roster, but we'll see. Time will tell. Tino Sabatelli will be on main roster.
I can't wait to see Tino Sabatelli next week. Just pinning Brock.
Buzzing. Stop it.
I love that every week now it's just going to be you trying to get Tino Sabatelli booked on the main roster.
If that's what it is.
That's what it takes. So then after that, Shayna Baszler was doing an interview with was it Kayla or Charlie Caruso?
Charlie Caruso.
Very boring. She needed a crowd. She needed a crowd.
She just kind of intimidated Caruso, and then
yeah.
It's got an A grade on Bleacher Report.
Really?
Yep. This whole segment was short, sweet, and effective. Baszler spoke as she needed to, explaining that her motivation wasn't to be champion as much as to make sure that Lynch isn't. No feud has held up better in this confined WWE experience than Lynch and Baszler. It feels as heated as ever. The two could fight tomorrow, and the match would be must-see.
I agree with some things there. I agree that it does feel very hatred, but
when they put it like that, it's all right.
I just didn't like the promo. It was just shit. I suppose it was just shit. The promo, short, not very energetic, but it fits the character. Becky again coming out attacking her. It's a match that I should be invested for. Shayna, amazing NXT. Becky, great on the main roster, but I just don't have that oomph. If that makes sense.
Yeah, you don't care. It's fine. That's it.
Aleister Black beat Leon Ruff. Lovely black mask, but yeah.
Leon Ruff. I like the look of this guy. I don't know whether it's just because he looks like he reminded me of Leo Rush in like stature and kind of his movements.
Yeah, but obviously, doesn't make sense.
You know, there's some like jobbers that sort of like you want to know more about them, and you kind of want.
He's one of them for you.
Yeah, I want to see more of Leon Ruff.
Leon Ruff, Tino Sabatelli tag team champions.
I'd be up for it.
The same. Obviously, Black's got Lashley at Mania. Boring. Who cares? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm not sure boring's the word. Just why?
Why? What have them two? Have them two actually had any like?
They've never interacted. I can confidently say I don't think they've ever interacted.
Still be weird for you, innit? It just is.
Yeah, you've got to get them matches in.
It is. After that, Seth KO comes out, doesn't really get a chance to talk before Seth interrupts. Seth cuts a lovely promo. He was just preaching. He was saying the women's evolution wouldn't have happened because of me. The NXT that you went and trained in wouldn't have happened because of me. He was stuff that has nothing to do with him. He was just taking all credit for. He went, Wrestlemania, look at you, you haven't won at a Mania. I have. I've won at every single Mania. I think he said something along them lines. When you're
this was quite good, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah, just Rollins being the Messiah and just taking credit for every little thing.
Mm-hmm. He said he becomes a god under the Mania stage lights. It was just a nice promo. Owen didn't react. He was just silent. I enjoyed it. I really did. No Murphy and AOP, which I was surprised by. Unfortunately, I don't think they'll be on the Mania card, which would be very sad, considering they've really helped.
Murphy and AOP?
Yeah, they've really helped there.
Yeah, there isn't enough room. Well, they'll be at ringside for Seth, though, so it kind of counts.
Hopefully. But good promo. And speaking of a good promo, Randy Orton came out as a main event and accepted Edge's WrestleMania challenge. I like the promo because it was different than what we usually see. He was cutting it, but while he was talking, there was splicing in footage of these big moments we talked about. It was like, on my first year, I won the Intercontinental Championship. A year later, I became the youngest ever WWE champion. And as they're doing, they were flashing up pictures of that.
Yeah,
why
just
was
really
I part of Revolution? He didn't want you. It made sense.
I don't know why, but I wasn't really watching again or listening. But I'll take everyone's word for it and say that it was.
I can read it. Despite amending his early statement that Edge is a junkie for the crowd, Orton once again claimed that he has always loved Edge and his family. According to the Vibe, that love will always be the reason he tried to put Ultimate Opportunities back on the shelf. Regardless of what Edge thinks, but as for Edge's accusation that Orton is a gritless, entitled brat, Orton took exception. Yes, he was handed an opportunity, something he pointed out as so-called ultimate opportunities would never turn down, but it doesn't take grit to convert on chance. Isn't longevity in an unforgiving industry its own form of grit? Orton has been happy to let Edge write his own story, but his final two words, I accept. He promised to be the one who ends it. So, last man standing at Mania.
Cool.
I like this because they can be safe.
Yeah, there'll be no atmosphere, but as you say, it'll be safe.
Because it is a blood feud in terms of this back and forth of.
It's
Go on.
unfortunate. In front of no one. Like singles. But what can you do?
Nothing. That's when you can't do anything. And we always say they're making the best out of a bad situation. At least we've still got the match to go ahead.
Yeah, pretty much. At least
on the field.
At least there'll be something to watch on April 4th.
Yeah. I know, and at least we get a double thing. That was Raw. What do you think?
All right. 3 out of 5, I think. Had its ups, had its downs.
Right.
What is?
I'll give it a 3. One more week, and we've got Mania. So next week we'll do our predictions for Mania.
You might like
It'll be strange.
It's gonna be so weird.
It's gonna be a Mania to remember, at least. It's sort of one thing we can take.
Time, like,
yeah. But what can you do? It's going to be fun. That's another thing. It might be. It's going to be a bit stupid, but it will be fun. Now we will go into our main event, as I'm going to call it, where I'm going to give you I'm going to give you 5 wrestlers this time, and I want you to rank them best to worst, in your opinion. That is. So this time I've gone for the last 5 Intercontinental Champions.
Oh, I thought you were going to do Cody Moxley Jericho.
I was. Never mind, we'll save that Intercontinental for next week. I forgot about that. Right. Cody Rhodes. John Moxley. Well, yeah, Cody Rhodes, John Moxley / Dean Ambrose, and Chris Jericho. Rank them for me. If you want time to think, I'll go through mine. And it's going to be very biased.
No, I think I've got it.
I'll run through mine first, quickly.
All right.
Number 3, I've gone for John Moxley / Dean Ambrose. He is good. There's parts of Dean that I loved. The initial Shield United States Championship. 2017 early SmackDown Live, Dean, when he was the champion. He really helped that brand. Fortunately, just didn't have the feuds. Like, he was with Ellsworth as a feud. Didn't like that, but he was that main guy. But then he did have the downfall of the gas mask gimmick. But he's gone to AEW and he's really sort of set his path on fire. Really is. It feels like he can't be stopped. But when you compare him against the other two in terms of impact and build up, for me he's just unfortunately third. Second is Cody Rhodes. Now you can put Cody last, but he's just sort of rise. Dusty's son in FCW. Then he was part of Legacy with Ted DiBiase Jr. and Randy. He left that. Then he had the beautiful gimmick. He bag over his head. He had the broken nose face mask that he used to take off and hit people with. Then he had the Dusty when they were going to get fired. And you had that one of my favourite tag team matches of the Rhodes versus Shield, where Dusty hit Ambrose. Then you sort of had the downfall of Cody with Stardust, which was just so poor. So you could have maybe done more. You had the match with Stephen Amell. He leaves, and he has an okay first indie run. He worked a couple of shows in the UK, but I didn't feel the need to watch him. Then he started become best mates with the Elite, so New Japan and Ring of Honor. We saw he would get in his name, and also AEW. He is one of the co-founders. It's a show that I've come to really, really enjoy, and I sort of want to tune every week. And the reason is Cody. His passions are so prominent. He isn't the best wrestler, which is a problem, which is why you probably could put Moxley. Compared to Moxley, I feel like Moxley is better in terms of wrestling, but in terms of storytelling, Cody is there for me. The number 1 is Chris Jericho. You've got to put Jericho first. He's had one of the best tailored careers. He's been able to reinvent himself from Sabres Y2J to the mid-2000s to like 2016 with Festival of Friendship KO to AEW now is this entitled sort of rock star type character, this veteran, and he can sort of still go for someone of his age, and I feel like he also just enjoys the passion of it. So yeah, Jericho first, Cody second, Moxley third. Go on, what's yours?
I were only going to rank them on what they're doing right now.
Oh, okay, you could do that then, but I just did it overall.
Even though he's the champion, I was still going to put Jon Moxley at number 3.
Yeah.
Promos, Mox, great. Comedic timing, great. It's just, on the whole, I feel like his matches aren't quite on the same as his promo. When he's making his entrance, I always get proper excited. Rings, and I'm like, I don't maintain that level.
No, I can understand that.
Yeah,
sure.
misses somewhere. Then again, he likes his hardcore sort of wrestling, doesn't he? That's like, I'm not like an extreme kind of like. It's not for me. Like I never understood the appeal with ECW and stuff. Like that would sort of be his wheelhouse, wouldn't it, with all CW stuff and but yeah, Mox at number 3. Go.
Wow, if we're basing off now, yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. The champion stuff's been fantastic, and my favourite so far has still been that promo before Jericho versus Cody. All the inner circle giving him like a character reference and stuff. Jericho's helped get AEW to where it is, but I don't know. I feel like since he lost the title to Mox, he's kind of tailed off a little bit. Not tailed off, but
he lost his momentum.
It was impossible for him to keep up the momentum that he had. Like I just don't think anyone could do that. Whereas number 1, Cody, I just feel like Cody is he feels like a leader. It's his company. Like every time he's on screen, his passion and energy just comes through the screen.
Yeah.
Every time he's in the ring with someone. First of all, he's not had a bad match in AEW. Every time he's in the ring with someone, be it Ortiz, be it Sabian, I think.
Thank you.
Sammy Guevara, Jimmy Havoc this Wednesday.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
But he elevates the person in the feed. When he's in a big match, be it against MJF or Jericho, he takes the losses and comes back stronger without harming himself in the slightest.
For me, the MJF match was so it had one of the best build-ups in wrestling, but the match for me just didn't live up. Unfortunately,
the match was fine. It was all right.
It was okay. It just wasn't good enough for me.
Every promo he does hits the mark.
Yep.
The steel cage match against Wardlow, and then the promo afterwards. The whole thing with Arn Anderson. Everything Cody in his company it's been perfect, and I struggle to understand anybody who wouldn't put him at number 1, because
if we're basing it off now, yes, Cody number 1.
Yeah.
What a match! He was always one of my favourite wrestlers when I first started watching. It was him, Kofi, and Ziggler, and he still maintained it there in terms of I want to watch a Cody Rhodes promo. I want to watch Cody Rhodes match.
There was always something you wanted to rally behind, even when it was Stardust.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Zack Ryder in the sense of it doesn't matter where he is on the card. You just look at Zack Ryder and think, do you know what I mean? I wish he was a little bit higher up, doing a bit better.
For me, with WWE, Cody could have been what could have been in terms of, he could have been a really big breakout star of Legacy.
But if they'd have never done anything with him, by some random chance he was to leave AEW and go back to WWE, they wouldn't do anything with him.
I don't think he'd ever do it. I think he would stick with the Indies until he retires.
He wouldn't do it, but they wouldn't know what to do with him.
No. Do you have him as what you've got him now as sort of this leader, or would you reverting back to what he was before.
Well, just in the sense of, like, they'd have him, like, face the Fiend or something and then, like, have a really bad match and, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have a plan. They just put him in a big program, like, book themselves into a corner where someone's got to lose.
Mm-hmm. I do agree that he should be number one if we're basing it off now. But if we're doing it all the time, I think Jericho's got to be there.
Doing it off history, it's Jericho. Again, Jericho's got about an extra 15 years under his belt.
Yeah,
so.
True. He's got the tenure. Not making him seem old, but he's got the tenure to do it.
Yeah,
but that was the main event. Let us know in the comments what you think. Like and subscribe, obviously. If you are new to the Sports Corner channel, we've got content. It's locked down, but we've still got content coming. Mondays would normally be Team of the Week predictions. We're working on some stuff for that. We don't know yet. So we say start your week starts off with us, the Wrestling Corner, where we talk about AEW, NXT. You know you've listened to us. If you haven't listened, what are you doing? Come on. Like and subscribe for us because it really is helpful. We've got a big Mania season coming up in a week and a half. So 2 weeks we'll have probably a big bumper episode where we'll talk about both Mania cards, which will be very fun. But we'll look forward to that. On Wednesday, we do have the Big Boy, the Top Corner podcast, where we talk about all footballs. This week, we're going to be reacting to the Serie A team of the season we're going to be doing. So that's going to be very, very fun because if you don't watch Serie A like me, my choice is going to be very, very fun. So tune into that. Thursday, we do have the NFL Corner. Don't know what they're doing this week. It could be free agency again. It could be draft prospects. Don't know. And then that's it for the rest of the week. Friday, sometimes sports day, but obviously there's no sports on, so nothing. Weekend, chill at home. There may be some Twitch content in the future. We don't know. But this has been the Wrestling Corner. I've been joined by Simon. Thank you, Simon.
Yeah, thank you.
And that has been the Wrestling Corner. Goodbye. I need to cut the end. Bye. Bye.